Week 1 of the fantasy football season did not disappoint. There were some studs and some duds. Let's go over them. Starting with the quarterback position. Jeffrey, take me to my quarterback grades, please.
Yes, sir.
All of these quarterbacks deserve an A+ in fantasy football this week.
Justin Fields.
Daniel Jones.
Justin Herbert. Patrick Mahomes. Aaron Rodgers.
Honestly, all of these surprised me other than Patrick Mahomes, and I was a little iffy on that. Justin Fields balled out in his debut as a Jet. Rushed for almost 50 yards, 3 total touchdowns, 1 in the air, 2 on the ground. Incredible. Daniel Jones had the same amount of fantasy points as Justin Fields, 29.5. Both had 3 total touchdowns, 1 in the air, 2 on the ground. Jones threw for more yards, 272, but still ran for 26. Honestly, impressed. I thought Justin Herbert might have a little bit of difficulty with the Chiefs defense in Brazil. Nope. Threw for over 300 yards and 3 of them things. Good job, Justin. Patrick Mahomes got it done on the ground, surprisingly. After Xavier Worthy went out, he rushed for 57 yards on the ground, had a touchdown on the ground and in the air. And honestly, the most surprising one, Aaron Rodgers, non-mobile quarterback in a new area with 1 wide receiver that you actually trust. And DK Metcalf isn't even the one that scored the touchdown. That's crazy work. Aaron Rodgers threw for 4 of them things. 4 touchdowns? Rodgers, when is the last time you threw for 4 touchdowns? I had to look this up. This is the first time Aaron Rodgers has thrown for 4 touchdowns and no picks since 2021. Good job, Rodgers. Honorable mention to the quarterbacks that just missed the A+ cut.
Jalen Hurts.
Michael Penix Jr.
Baker Mayfield.
All right, now let's talk about quarterback duds. Week 1 quarterback duds. All these quarterbacks got an F in my fantasy metrics.
Bryce Young. Jared Goff.
Spencer Rattler.
Trevor Lawrence. Russell Wilson. Bo Nix. CJ Stroud. Joe Burrow. Dak Prescott. Sam Darnold. Tua Tagovailoa. Cam Ward.
Let's get the ones that I'm least disappointed with out of the way. No one expected anything from Spencer Rattler. Cam Ward's a rookie going up against one of the best defenses in the league. No one was starting Sam Darnold. Same with Russell Wilson, Bryce Young, and Tua. Let's talk about these guys that y'all did start. Jared Goff got you less than 12 points. A touchdown and a pick, not good. And they were getting beat down. 13-27. Trevor's team was coasting. They didn't need to score a lot. They were already winning the whole game against the Panthers. Also, one of the touchdowns was a run touchdown from Brian Thomas Jr. Now we're getting interesting. Bo Nix was brutal. 25 for 40. Threw for less than 200 yards. 1 touchdown. 2 picks. Every time I thought they were getting a rhythm, someone would make a mistake. Now, do I notice it more because I started him? Probably, but it sucked nonetheless. CJ Stroud had 0 touchdowns and a pick. That's disappointing. Completion percentage was high, but didn't win the game or your fantasy lineup. Dak actually played pretty well. It just didn't come back with fantasy points. 2 rushing touchdowns from Javonte Williams. I actually wasn't super mad about that going up against Philly. You also picked him with like the 11th pick. You know who you picked high that disappointed you though? Joe Burrow, who snuck out a win against the Cleveland Browns and honestly should have lost the game. The Cleveland Browns kicker missed a field goal and an extra point. Winning 17-16 against the Cleveland Browns. You should be ashamed of yourself. Also, he threw for 133 yards. 1 touchdown. I mean, the Cleveland Browns defense is good, but are they that good? Come on. All right, Jeffrey, let's move on to the wide receiver position.
Yes, sir.
Week 1 wide receiver studs in PPR. Jeffrey?
Quentin Johnston. Emeka Egbuka. Puka Nakua. Deebo Samuel. Garrett Wilson. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Michael Pittman Jr. Marquise Brown. Keenan Allen.
Lot of surprising wide receivers in the studs. Starting off at the top. Quentin Johnston scoring 2 touchdowns was not on my bingo card. Also, 7 targets was a lot. Gonna have to keep an eye on him. Emeka Egbuka is a beast. 2 touchdowns. One of them was a go-ahead touchdown that ended up winning us the game. Thank you. Excluding the touchdowns in okay games, 6 targets, 4 receptions for 67 yards. Touchdowns really put him over the top. But that's what happens when you get 2 of them things. Puka Nakua got banged up but still balled out. Got an A+ without a touchdown. 10 receptions, 130 yards. That'll do it. Clear alpha. Welcome back to the studs list, Deebo Samuel. It's been a while. Pull up a chair. I love the 10 targets for 7 receptions and 77 yards. I also see you with that 19-yard carry for a touchdown, boy. Yeah, this was a miss by me. Garrett Wilson, step on up. 9 targets, 7 receptions for 97 yards and a touchdown. I've been concerned about the touchdowns for you. But I ain't gonna lie, Justin Fields looked better than I thought he would, to be honest with you. Going up against the Steelers, they got quarterbacks everywhere. I thought were gonna give you a fit, but you did your thing on that one. I'm very pleased that you were in my flex. Jackson Smith-Njigba coming through with the 13 targets was not what I expected. 9 receptions for 124 yards. No touchdowns, but over 100 in the first game and 9 receptions. That was nice. Michael Pittman Jr. was a huge benefactor from Daniel Jones balling out today. 80 yards and a touchdown. Marquise Brown turned into Mr. Necessary when Xavier Worthy went down. 16 targets is crazy work. Turned that into 10 receptions for 99 yards. Wow. And on the other side of the field, Keenan Allen. I told y'all to pick this boy up. 10 targets, 7 receptions for 68 yards and a touchdown. Those were my studs, the A+ of the week. Let's give an honorable mention to the A's of the week.
Marvin Harrison Jr., Cortland Sutton, CeeDee Lamb, Jacoby Myers.
All right, Jeffrey, that's enough of these studs. Take me to the duds.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness, this is gonna get bad. Week 1 wide receiver duds in PPR leagues. Read them off, Jeffrey. It gets worse as it goes on.
T. Higgins, George Pickens, Nico Collins, Jaden Higgins, Terry McLaurin, Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, Jalwan Jennings, Matthew Golden, Cooper Kupp, Josh Downs, AJ Brown, Xavier Worthy.
Let's start off with the most disappointing. In what world does Jamar Chase only get 2 receptions for 26 yards? That is crazy work. Joe Burrow, you targeted this man 5 times. 5. And this wasn't a game you were running away with. Y'all needed these points. On the same team, T. Higgins. What is going on? 3 receptions for 33 yards. This Browns defense must be generational, or y'all are terrible at starting the year. It's horrific. Y'all barely won. If a kicker could kick, you might have lost. I thought y'all were supposed to be more in sync since you played in the preseason game. Guess that's out the window. Get it together. Nico Collins only had 3 for 25, also disappointing. In a game where y'all were down, you were the only real threat at wide receiver. Expected a bigger game. I think all 3 of these guys bounced back, obviously. Even this one. How does AJ Brown get 1 target all game? Jalen, what are we doing? 1 target? I don't care if they're bracketing him. 1? Maybe not 9, 10, maybe not even 7, 8. My man can't get 4 targets? Wild. 1 for 8. AJ Brown is crazy work. That man about to be reading a whole book series on the sideline this year. In the same game, Devonta Smith went 3 for 16. Unacceptable. That is crazy. On the other side of the field, George Pickens went 3 for 30. How long until he starts acting up? And Scary Terry came back to earth. Thank God he got paid. He went 2 for 27. Most people weren't high on Cooper Kupp. I thought he'd have a solid game. That was disappointing. 2 for 15 is ridiculous. The rest of the guys were young bucks or not pivotal. Other than Xavier Worthy, which we don't blame him. He got injured. Can't control that. I've been getting a lot of questions about whether or not people should sell these players. The answer is no. You don't sell low on these players. That being said, I will be coming out with a video soon. There's some of these players you should buy because I'm hearing some ridiculous offers and some that just wouldn't have happened a week ago. Like, somebody asked me, Jamar Chase or CeeDee Lamb, straight up. Bro, give me Jamar Chase. What are we doing here? That could go either way, but a week in, I'm not changing my whole outlook on Jamar Chase. from a guy who rosters Jamar Chase. I'm not trading him away for pennies on the dollar, which CeeDee Lamb is not pennies. But yeah, very disappointing, boys. Very disappointing. All right, Jeffrey, take me to the running backs, please.
Yes, sir.
Week 1 running back studs in PPR. Jeffrey, read the list, please.
Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey.
These are the only 2 running backs that got an A+, but for honorable mentions, we'll mention the A's.
Javonte Williams, Travis Etienne Jr., Saquon Barkley, Chuba Hubbard.
Starting with the A+, Bijan Robinson popped off this week. Got bottled up in the running game, 12 for 24. But he did work in the receiving game, 6 for 100 and a touchdown. And if Drake London stays banged up, his workload's only going to go higher. Christian McCaffrey scared us with that tweet about his calf, but he played and he played well. Multiple of my fans reached out asking me what they should do about CMC. And I told them, if he plays, you start him. He's Christian McCaffrey. And some people were like, I'm not starting him. I'm out. I'm done. He's on my bench. And I was like, if you don't have another option, I get it. But I'm not spitefully sitting Christian McCaffrey. You drafted him. And he came through. 22 carries for 69 yards. That's not great, 3.1 per carry. But 9 receptions for 73 yards. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. He's going to get so many receptions. It's going to be crazy. 9 receptions for a running back is ridiculous. Shout out to Jahmyr Gibbs with 10 this week. Wow, you got 10 receptions and you still couldn't get into the A range? Y'all really did have a rough day. I'll chat up the honorable mentions real quick. Javonte Williams is here because he got 2 touchdowns. Travis Etienne actually went crazy today. 143 yards on the ground and a touchdown. 8.9 yards per carry. Crazy work. He could be a steal, but they were also playing the Panthers, so TBD. Looking like a steal, though. Saquon Barkley was solid. We got 84 total yards and a touchdown to go along with those 4 receptions. And Chuba Hubbard had 89 yards and a late touchdown. Touchdowns help. Moving on to the running back duds. Week 1 running back duds for PPR leagues. Jeffrey, take it away.
Tyrone Tracy Jr., Kenneth Walker III, Isaiah Pacheco, Ramondre Stevenson, Rashad White, Jerome Ford, Najee Harris, Tank Bigsby, Caleb Johnson.
Let's start off with the most disappointing. For the masses, not really me because I don't have him anywhere. Kenneth Walker III. My man only got 10 carries. 3 targets, okay. They got 20 yards. Oh my God. He barely got 5 PPR points. That's crazy. Did he get hurt and I missed it? I could have missed it. Zach Charbonnet had 12 carries for 47 yards. That's roughly 3.9 yards a carry and a touchdown. Compare that to Kenneth Walker. 10 carries, 20 yards, 2 yards a carry. Ugh, gross. They were facing the 49ers, and I do think the 49ers are solid. That's enough about Kenneth Walker. Isaiah Pacheco was extremely disappointing in a matchup where they needed some offensive production because Xavier Worthy went down. You were nowhere in sight. 5 carries, 3 targets. Oh man, that is underwhelming. Tyrone Tracy had 35 total yards. They did target him 5 times, but didn't turn into anything. It was better than Scatterbo, who had 2 carries for -3 yards. That's crazy. And 2 targets for 12 yards. At least he went positive overall. Oh my gosh. Ramondre Stevenson was disappointing, but you weren't really counting on him. We thought Jerome Ford would be the temporary guy, but turns out Dylan Sampson is actually not bad. Or at least he wasn't today. The split with Tank Bigsby seemed overblown. He had 5 carries all game and 1 target. No, sorry, 0 targets. And some of y'all I know are super disappointed with this last one. Caleb Johnson got 1 carry for -2 yards. Are you kidding me? In one of the highest scoring games of the week. Projected to be the lowest scoring. Nope, flip the script. The Steelers scored 34 points. Jalen Warren got 11 carries. And somehow Kenneth Gainwell just joined the team and out-touched you 7-1. Now, I could be wrong. I didn't see anything about an injury. Nothing's popping up when I Google it. So I guess he just got benched, but that's crazy work. Some people were starting him. I was too nervous for all that. Bad matchup, low scoring. Plus, he said he wasn't the number 1. Oh, come on, Lamar. Stay up. Yeah. Oh my gosh, he's so elusive. The game isn't over yet, but Derrick Henry just scored a second touchdown, so I gotta add him to the list. Mid me recording, he has 175 yards at this time of recording, plus 2 touchdowns. Running back 1 for the week. Outrageous. This man is ageless. Most games with 150 plus rushing yards in NFL history, he just tied it at 30 years old. 7. Crazy work. Derrick Henry, you are an absolute beast. Also got to add James Cook, has over 100 yards all purpose, 5 receptions and a touchdown, mid me recording. Welcome to the list, buddy. I'm adding Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen to the A+ list because they're both in the range and the game's still going on. There's 10 minutes left and they both have like 20 plus fantasy points. So I'm assuming they're going to be an A+. As of right now, Lamar Jackson has 194 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 57 rushing yards, and a touchdown. That's 3 touchdowns and over 250 yards. Okay. Josh Allen has 44 rushing yards, rushing touchdown, passing touchdown, and 228 passing yards. He's going to be an A+ too. What was I thinking recording this before these two play? The game's still going, but Zay Flowers has 6 receptions, 134 yards, and a touchdown. That's good enough to be at the top of the list. A+ Zay Flowers. And Keon Coleman came in clutch with a late touchdown, vaulting him up into this A+ stud tier. Good job, Coleman. And for all of you that drafted him super late, y'all must be real happy. All right, let's go to the tight ends. Week 1 tight end studs for PPR leagues. No tight end got enough points to reach my A+ threshold, but we got 3 in the A threshold. Juwan Jennings, Brock Bowers, and Tyler Warren. All 3 of these guys had solid weeks. Brock Bowers had over 100 yards and he got knocked out of the game at one point, so he could have been even higher, which would have most likely gotten him to that A+ tier. Juwan Jennings with 11 targets. Love to see that. I thought there was a chance he would get involved, but 11 targets, a lot of targets. Nice little safety blanket he got there. Week 1 tight end duds in PPR leagues.
Evan Ingram, Chig Okonkwo,
Jatavian Sanders, Mike Gesicki,
Cade Otton, Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews isn't technically a bust yet, but he has 1 reception for 5 yards. I'm going to go with he's probably not going to get out of this range, but he could. You may never see this. The only one I'm really disappointed in is Evan Ingram. He got banged up, but it was really towards the end of the game, so I don't really know if that's enough of an excuse for him to go 3 for 21. I got to go back and rewatch it and see when he got knocked out, but I recall him playing most of the game. The duds that hurt me the most this week, Bo Nix being awful, Jamar Chase not being involved at all, Nico Collins underperforming, Devonta Smith not being involved for whatever reason. Studs that helped me the most this week, Emeka Ibuka, who I have in like 3 leagues, 2 of which dynasty. I am so happy. Garrett Wilson, who I dramatically underrated this week. Deebo Samuel, who I need to sell in dynasty. Keenan Allen, which I've been talking up everywhere. Christian McCaffrey, even though he gave me a heart attack, I am still very pleased at the points he gave me. And Saquon Barkley, who's an absolute beast. So those are the studs and duds for week 1. Which one of these guys helped you and which sent you into a spiral this week? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell down below. I'll talk to you soon, Bay Nation. There's plenty more content where this came from. If you have any questions, hit me up. Good luck on your Monday matchups. I'll talk to you soon, Bay Nation. Peace.